See that this is exactly why I usually give myself at least half an hour because now people are gonna misunderstand and think we're late.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh well, these things happen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey of the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi everybody.
Jack, how the hell are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I am happy. Got a surprise visit from the Littles, and yeah, just as soon as I saw him, my heart just smiled. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And yeah, so happy and well rested.
what? What's that
I
all about?
finally got to sleep yesterday, maybe about 9 a.m. and I slept till 4:30.
Why?
I don't know. And I wake up, and it was only about 15 minutes later that the Littles showed up, and me and Little Butt went to bed around about 8. We probably fell asleep somewhere around 10. But yeah, I passed out again and woke up at 1. So I've
Oh,
had quite a bit of sleep, and I'm not raring to go. I could use a nap if I'm being honest.
oh, yeah. Well, sleep is for the weak. That's why I don't do it.
I'm weak.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm crippled. It's in the
Blah blah
definition.
blah. I
It's
can't run real fast. Me.
I don't know. There's no fast about it. I can't run. If I
Oh.
tried to run, it would look like somebody who's tripping and trying to catch their balance.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I'd look like Biden just trying to walk. Anyway,
Oh.
oh man, the fallout from the Biden showing last night. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
I'm just going to pull this up on the screen and leave it here for most of what we talk about because holy shit. Wait, why won't it let me see where I can? There we go. I had my window minimized too much and it would let me pull it up where it says share, but it wouldn't let me actually click the share button.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So wait, why is this? I swear to bejesus. I did this before the show, so I didn't have to do it during the show. There we go. Put our avatars where they belong when we have something on the screen. This is a New York Times piece by, what's his name? Something Friedman. I always forget his first name. Thomas Friedman. And it says, Joe Biden is a good man and a good president. He must bow out of the race. I want to stop right there because we saw a whole bunch of people talking about him bowing out of the race, and I agree. However, this is the man who's the president of the United States. I saw very few people say, this guy should step down. And look, guys, I know what happens if he steps down. I know Kamala becomes president,
Oh.
but that's the way our system works. And I don't think keeping Dementia Joe in there has a good reason. You know, Kamala's waiting in the rings. We got to keep the dementia patient as in charge. That's just not a good answer to me.
No, it's really not. Like, as crazy and stupid as that Cackles McGee is, it's better than a senile old man.
Yeah. And all of these people, like, he can't even debate, but he's a good president. I mean, what the fuck? How do you get to that place where you're like, yeah, he can barely mumble a conversation, but he should definitely still be president. Frankly, right now, I think that Kamala should be impeached for failing to do her job and kicking off the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
Because part of her job is, you know, she takes the oath to defend the Constitution. And how do you do that when you're refusing to implement a very major part of it for a very important reason?
Well, tomorrow is today's tomorrow.
I suppose so. But nobody's talking really about the 25th Amendment. They're all talking about, oh, Joe should step down from the race. And yeah, sure. But that is of far less consequence to me than the fact that this motherfucker has his finger on the button.
Yeah.
He might think he's programming his VCR and set off a world war. Nobody told Joe we don't have VCRs anymore.
Well, Joe probably has a VCR. He's older than that invention, I'm sure.
And he's probably got an old dual track. Anyhow, to the debate itself, man. Did you watch any reaction?
No, not really. I watched X.
Okay. I just want to read the opening couple of lines to this. This is from Thomas Friedman. I watched the Biden-Trump debate alone in a Lisbon hotel room, and it made me weep. This is a friend of Joe Biden's.
Well, if I was his friend, I'd cry too because your friend has got dementia.
I cannot remember a more heartbreaking moment in American presidential campaign politics in my lifetime, precisely because of what it revealed. Joe Biden is a good man, a good president, has no business running for re-election. See, this is what I'm talking about. He has no business running for re-election, but you just say he's a good president.
Not if he's not the one making the decisions.
Let me ask you something, Jack. From a personal standpoint, not the rigors of being on the road, but the actual job itself. What do you think is harder? Repeating a stump speech every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, or running the entire United States?
Is he doing either one while podcasting?
He's not doing either one at all, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
but let's say without the podcast.
Well, running the United States seems like it on paper would be more difficult.
Hey, he's a good president, though. How can y'all? I get it. You like Biden because you're a Democrat, and let's be honest, that's all you care about. He beat Trump. He got your retribution for what Trump did to Hillary, winning a legal election. So you got your win. But how do you sit there and go, he's a good president? The only thing that didn't happen last night was him actually drooling on himself. I'm convinced he shit himself. I don't know if you saw, but Jill helping him down off the stage.
I saw a brief clip of that somebody sent me, but I didn't watch the whole speech.
Yeah, guys,
it was sad, dude.
Jill had to help Joe off the stage last night, down 2 steps.
And the way she was talking to him.
Yeah, that's at the after party at a hotel. Was it the Hyatt? I forget where it was at. They have this after party, and I saw so many comments about this stupid thing. Yeah, you know what? I think I have the video. Jack. Let me see if I can find it, because it is so sad. Dun, 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 dun. Where's that fucking thing at? Right here. Now we are on the AT&T. I finally got it working, Jack, and I think I know what the problem was last night.
Oh.
I was on the 5G, and I think this antenna I got only does the 2.
Oh.
Once I switched it over to the 2, I had no more issues. So, but anyway, this is Jill Biden introducing Joe Biden at their, would we call it a victory party?
I don't know. What do you call it when you institutionalize someone?
This is the wake following the debate last night.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Oh, that's a good boy. Yay. Mommy's happy. Yay.
You only pooped a little bit. That's how she's speaking to her husband and the president of the United States.
Yeah, like he's a 4-year-old child. You answered all the questions like a big boy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I don't talk to Rico like that, even though he is a good boy.
I kind of talk to Phoebe like that. But she's a princess cat, so that's how you know.
Oh, yeah, cats are different. They desire pampering.
Give him a cookie. Right, Faithless? Isn't that how that came off?
Yeah. You get a gold star.
It wasn't even true. And was it, I think it was Piers Morgan who, in response to this, was like, when your child comes in 5th in a race and you're like, oh, you did so good. You almost won, but everybody knows it's a lie. That's what we're seeing here. It's like, You completely fucked up, but you tried so hard. She's talking like that to our president. What she should have done here has been like, Joe, we need to go home and get you to bed. And then he comes back and he brings up dog face pony soldiers again.
Yeah.
One, I do want to point out Jill's absolutely wrong. He did not answer every question. He completely avoided several of them. And some, I mean, technically he did speak after he was asked a question. And then he started talking about how a girl might be raped by her husband's brother, sister. I don't know what that answer was, but technically he did answer the question. If by answer the question you mean a question was asked and then he started speaking, that absolutely did happen. And if that's as low as your bar is. But yeah, after this, Biden did go on, and I saw several people. It started with Mehdi Hassan, that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because Mehdi had, do I have that post readily available? He had put out a thing before the debate, and he said this: I think Republicans will regret. You know what? Let's put it up. Let me use the other version of it. There we go. We'll put it on the screen here so y'all can see it. This is Mehdi Hassan explaining why you should never listen to Mehdi Hassan. I think Republicans will regret setting the bar so low for Biden and helping spread the distorted image of him as a guy who is totally out of it, suffering from dementia, no grip on reality, no ability to speak. A very low bar for him to clear tonight. Then immediately after the debate, he said, update, not sure he cleared it.
Mistakes were made.
Donald Camp, thank you. Hey, Monkey and Jack, my nephew Brody turns 13 today. And can you get a song, please? Yes, Brody, this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. 13, man. That's a big age, man. I remember that.
I did a lot of hanging out at the mall.
Me too. You don't want to do it these days because there's like junkies and shit.
Yeah, well, there's that. And probably a bunch of illegal aliens. And all the stores are closed.
Brody, I hope you have a great birthday. I really do, bud. Now stop listening because Uncle Monkey's about to say some horrible shit. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. Oh, and that was a feminist $12 from you as well. Thank you. Dark Resurrect, thank you. The patronizing speech pattern just proves to me it's Jill who wanted Joe to run and that he is just a puppet. I mean, what other conclusion can you come to? He clearly does not know where he even is. Somebody is in charge there, and somebody's the one making the decision that Joe's going to keep going because it sure as fuck ain't Joe.
You think it's an Edith Wilson scenario where she's really running things?
I do. Running the whole thing, probably not, but protecting what she sees as his legacy. I said this today. That showing last night really should drive Joe to drop out. But it all but guaranteed he won't.
Yeah.
And here's why. What little bit of his mind is left is still the same egotistical, arrogant prick he's always been.
Yeah.
And his wife is the same, how do I want to put this? Ambitious.
Strip of dementia.
The same ambitious whore she always was.
Yeah.
And there is no way she lets him go out like that. There's just no way.
Not willingly. I think there would have to be a push.
It would have to be forced, yeah. And that's why I say almost guaranteed. The 28th was my birthday. Can I get a song? Mad Max, for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mad Max. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Max. I hope you had a great one. I really, really do. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight Mehdi Hassan here because helping spread the distorted image of him. We saw a really big push in the last week to be like, those are cheap fakes. We all remember cheap fakes, right? I didn't hear that word coming out of leftist mouths today. The only idiot I saw say that was Harry Sisson, which that kid has just embarrassed the shit out of himself. We'll get to this.
He's kind of a joke.
But everybody else is like, holy fuck, he really is that bad. They knew he was bad. They knew he was. Did you see Scarborough's meltdown?
No.
Oh my God.
I assumed he had some kind of meltdown, but I figured that resulted in dead interns.
So. You know, we haven't found the bodies yet. That doesn't mean there aren't any.
Let the bodies hit the desk. Oh, sorry, too soon.
I was just watching Megyn Kelly right before this, and the Megyn Kelly show from last night was kind of interesting. She had Steve Bannon on.
Oh yeah.
And what's the timestamp for that? About an hour into the show, they start talking about the 2020 election or the 2016 election. Sorry. When Megyn Kelly asked Donald Trump about, the women that he's been mean to. And that led to quite a backlash against Megyn Kelly, who at that time had been a almost darling of the right.
Yeah.
She's riding high on Fox News and that, the 9 p.m. slot, I think?
Yeah, I think it was 9 p.m.
She's riding high, and the campaign is like, fuck this bitch. And she got a lot of shit for that. And you can say rightfully so. That's fine. And her and Bannon actually discussed that. And Bannon's like, look, I'm sure it was horrible for you. He goes, but basically he said, that's politics, bitch.
Yeah.
And her response was like, it actually was horrible, but looking back on it, I get it. She goes, I said something I absolutely deserve to be, or everybody has the right to criticize me for. I was like, holy shit. She didn't go, you're mean. She's like, no,
she's
I get it.
Grown up a little bit, I think, because of the NBC nonsense.
Yeah.
I think she got worse treatment on the networks than she did at the blowback from the Fox viewers.
Well, she absolutely did. And she even said, I still stand by that question. And in honesty, it was a fair question.
She could have done it a bit more maturely.
Well, of all of the things going on, because the question literally was, you've been mean to women. It's a fair question, but is that a presidential debate question, or is that hey, we have a one-off interview off to the side kind of question? You're talking about trying to become the leader of the free world, and you're like, you sometimes insulted women. He insults men too, all the fucking time.
Oh, but they don't count because it's the women that matter most. Men insulted, women most affected.
Thank you, Buddha. Hi, Monk. I think Michelle Obama or Gavin Newsom will replace Biden. That scares me. Everybody still... can somebody show me where Michelle has ever suggested she wanted to go into politics?
I don't think it's so much that she wants to as they want to draft her because she's so wonderful.
I think you have a better chance of seeing Hillary jump in than Michelle.
Yeah, look, I rule nothing out at this point. So I still maintain it's probably going to be Newsom if they do replace him. And
it'll be Kamala.
The odds improved a little bit.
It'll be Kamala.
I don't know. Kamala is a fucking tard.
Oh, I don't disagree that she's a tard. I just don't think that you can skip over the black lady who's literally the vice president of the United States to go with Gavin Newsom without an election, and they can't have the primary over.
I see what you're saying, but this is the Democrat Party. They'll dress him up like a fucking Southern plantation owner and give him a whip if it suited their ends.
The only way it gets Gavin is if Kamala comes out and says, I won't do it. And we all know she wants to do it, so.
Yeah. She wants to play big boy. Look at me, I'm a big girl now.
I think the people that are running the Democratic Party are smart enough, especially in this environment, not to run the guy who made it legal for 24-year-old men to butt fuck 14-year-old boys.
Well, he'd have the Hollywood vote for sure.
Thank you, Dangerous. I take exception to that, Jack. I work with 4 and 5-year-olds. If I ever talked to them like that, they would ask why I was talking down to them. Obama Clinton already said, let's stay with Joe. The one thing I will say about that, with them saying it, it doesn't mean much because, I mean, DeSantis said he wasn't going to run for president if he was reelected, right? People will say things and then, you know, situations change.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was talking about Megyn Kelly because of Joe Scarborough. And, you know, we're just going to crib her shit. I'm not even going to lie to you. She did the hard work on this one, so let's let her show it. This is Joe Scarborough. I don't remember exactly when. It's a few months ago, though.
Besides the president's mental fitness, once
ear.
going so far as to tell the president's critics less than 3 months ago to, quote, F off if they didn't see and agree with the president's brilliance.
He might misplace a word here and there, but you talk to him for hours at a time. Is he slower? Does he move slower? Yeah, he's moved slower. Is he stiffer? Yeah, he moves stiffer. Does he have trouble walking sometimes? Yeah, so did FDR. I've said it.
So did FDR.
So did FDR.
So did Taft. You going to talk about how fat Trump is again?
It's just polio. That's all it is.
Just a touch of the polio.
Now, on the screen here, you can see Haley to drop out of race. And Megyn said less than 3 months ago. I don't know does this have the exact date on it? It doesn't. But this is just a few months ago where Joe is like, how dare you suggest Biden has lost his fucking mind? How dare he sometimes messes up a word here or there. But he wasn't done.
For years now. He's cogent. Mm-hmm. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Start your tape right.
Okay, the only way 3 months ago Biden was better than he's ever been is if sometime in the last 3 months he had a massive stroke and we weren't told about it.
Maybe they meant a time traveling version of him from the past that leapt forward.
But I wanted to bring that up. There's more to it. Watch Megan's show from today if you wanted to see more. Because this was the kind of shit I saw going around today. Or not today, sorry. Leading up to the debate. We saw Sideshow Bob, Corinne Jean-Pierre come out and go, oh, you guys just take little clips of what he said and you take them out of context. Look, there were other parachuters there in Normandy. He wasn't wandering off with, you know, the whole group of leaders standing together and we see the little old man wander off. No. He was going to talk to a service member. There was a real push. So Mehdi Hasan, when he's like, the Republicans have set the bar so low. Actually, I don't even think most Republicans or conservatives or even libertarians who lean that way, I don't think anybody was pushing it. I was even shocked by how bad that was last night. And we've been pushing this shit since 2019. Even I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he would have several moments last night, not one giant 90-minute long moment.
Yeah, it was a bit rough.
But they all came out like even Mehdi Hasan in that thing. The bullshit way you guys are you're calling him like this. You've lowered the bar too far. Now, when Mehdi came out, he didn't follow that up with, wow, I was wrong. The Republicans were right. This guy's lost his fucking mind. He just said, I don't think he cleared the bar. Yeah, because the guy's out of his fucking mind. But when I read that, I went and there was a woman who responded to him who said, where's the Joe Biden from the after party? Why wasn't that the Joe Biden we saw during the debate?
They gave him another injection.
No, it's what we said during the debate, Jack. In trying to trap Trump, let's set the time frame, right? We go back just a couple of months, and Joe Biden is saying, I don't think I'm even going to debate Trump. I'm not even, why would I? And Trump opened that door for him because Trump refused to debate any of the Republicans. And I said it at the time. He gave him this win. But his poll numbers started tanking. And some dumbass in his campaign went, I bet if we challenge him to a debate, he won't do it. And they did. Joe Biden came out and made that video, remember? He's too scared to debate me. And so Trump went, I'll fucking do it. And then the campaign was like, whoa, wait. We have specific conditions. It's got to be in a closed room, no audience at all, just the moderators. Moderators, we get a pick, which ended up being CNN. We get to mute. If somebody's talking when they're not supposed to be, we have a mute button right here. We have strict timing rules. And they set this up. They set this trap for Trump that actually played to Trump's benefit. The reason Biden, and I'm using air quotes here, looks better during his speech that he gave at the, again, I wish I remember what hotel it was, but at their after party, is because you have the crowd cheering to every stupid thing he said. They literally cheered to Dog-Faced Pony Soldier.
Oh, that's sad. Fucking brain dead
Here.
zealots.
I don't have the full video of it, and I wouldn't probably watch it if we did. But let's just look at this part of it. My video froze. There we go. I could hear him talking, but the video had frozen. So here's Joe Biden. This is him afterwards. This is after Jill had just spoke down to him.
Analysis on this. Let's have a listen.
One of them looked at John Wayne and said, these guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers.
Now imagine that same line without a bunch of cheering harpies. Listen to the way he presented the line there. Just listen to his voice.
Analysis on this. Let's have a listen.
One of them looked at John Wayne and said, these guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers.
Does that sound cheerworthy?
No, it sounds sad, like an old man making mean jokes.
And I told you guys last night during the debate, without having an audience there for like when this idiot brings up E. Jean Carroll, and without having an audience cheering for him saying that stupid shit, it's like watching a sitcom that uses a laugh track without the laugh track. People who watch this and were like, where is that guy? He's the same guy. You're just now getting the cues that this is, look, yeah, that was a good line. See, everybody said so. If you listen to most of these guys speak, if you turn off the audience, honestly, most stump speeches and stuff are pretty trash.
Yeah.
They're boring. But yeah, you gotta have that laugh track in there, or Joe just seems like a doddering old man. No, he's the greatest president. He's the smartest guy ever. Now, I want to give Piers Morgan a little credit, and I want to tell Piers Morgan go fuck himself. Here's why. I watched the Piers Morgan show, which had Cenk Uygur, Jenna Ellis, Hassan Piker, whoever the spokesperson is for the RNC, I forget her name, but she's pretty cute. Some weird old bald gay guy who thinks Biden is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and some angry redskin dude. And I don't mean Indian, like, I'm not saying redskin like the football team. I mean, his skin is literally red. Very angry guy. He looks like he's in the middle of a heart attack at all times. And I couldn't even tell you what side of the aisle he's on, because anytime he got to talk, he just like screamed a whole bunch. Really weird guy. I get that he doesn't like Hassan Piker either, which at least I'm with him on that. But otherwise, I might as well have been listening to Joe, because I honestly, I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. He went after Harry Sisson, and you know his big argument against Harry was, you're 20. Uh, there's so much else to say about Harry Sisson than that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But Piers Morgan gets on there and he says, yeah, what I saw last night was horrible. And he says this, Joe Biden is an honorable man. And I'm like, what?
What does that have to do with fucking anything?
Well, see, there's an old man with dementia on TV and we're not allowed to be mean to him. So you got to say he's a good person and an honorable person. He's not a bad guy. He's just got the dementia. No, Joe Biden is a shitbag.
We'll bet.
Joe Biden had to be sued to stop besmirching a dead man. Yeah. What part of that is honorable? He had to leave the 88 race over plagiarism and lies.
Minor stuff.
Just little things.
Real quickly, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. My favorite thing from the debate was Trump saying, "Let's not be childish," and Biden's, "You're a child."
Yes.
That is all the difference. Yeah, it really made Trump look like the adult in the room.
How do you do that? How do you let Trump be the adult in the room? And that's part of the debate. The thing, Trump was not playing to an audience last night, which helped him maintain, his cool and be a little more, I don't want to say grown up, but a little more professional. That's the word I want. They tried to trap him, and instead all they did is expose that everything people have been saying about Joe Biden is true.
Joe Biden reminded me of the Home Alone episode of It's Always Sunny, where Charlie gets his foot stuck in the bear trap.
Yes.
He sets up a bear trap and then steps in it. And then once he gets it off and the team starts losing, he puts his foot right back in there.
Yep, got to, yeah. Because the things that was helping at the time, you got to make sure you do those.
Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking of that all day today. I was like, it's Charlie in the bear trap.
Donald Trump revised tactics, you goober. Donald Trump is a smart guy. Whether you guys like him or not, he's not a dumb man. And he's like, all I got to do is not be a jackass. Just let Joe be Joe. And not playing to the crowd. If there was a crowd there, you would have had a lot more wrong kind of moments.
Yeah.
You would have seen him, instead of just standing there smugly with his little, Jesus Christ, I can't believe this fucker's actually here. That little smile on his face, he would have had we would have heard him like we did Biden with the mic off.
Yeah, well, Trump likes to really kind of play to a crowd.
Yes.
Because he likes the cheers and the laughter. So he kind of hams it up.
Yes.
But behind the scenes, you get more of like what you saw in The Apprentice, where he's a little bit more business-like, not entirely serious, but definitely much more mature than when he's doing a rally.
Yeah, whoever came up with this idea that we need to debate him should have been fired already. And there was a story out today that according to the Biden camp, nobody's going to get in trouble for this. They're not firing anybody. Which just made me think you're right. Gavin Newsom is running this thing and he's like, yeah, just let him keep going. Because how does this big of a failure happen 4 months from the election and nobody gets fired?
I don't know. I really don't. Either they're up to something or this is the worst planned campaign in history. Oh, it's possible it's both. But yeah, I think there's some shenanigans going on somewhere. I don't know what their game plan is. Nobody else seems to know either. It's so poorly done that they don't seem to have any idea what they're doing, and they definitely don't understand Trump's supporters or Trump.
Well, I think it largely comes back down to Biden, both Joe and Jill, their egos.
Yeah.
It's one thing that they're saying in public and probably even saying to Joe, oh, you did a good job. You did great. But even Joe came out like, I don't really debate good anymore. And I guarantee you what happened behind the scenes. Because if you go back to, say, 2012, I know it happened in 2012. May have happened even before. But when they're getting ready for the vice presidential debates in 2012, they're like, Joe Biden is going to dominate this thing because he's the best debater ever. He can out debate anybody. He's great. And I have no doubt that somebody at his campaign was like, oh, he can out debate him. He'll absolutely crush this. He'll crush it. He's the great debater. But even then, he comes out today and he's like, well, I'm not the best, or I'm not as good as I used to be. Like, you're demented.
Pyrus makes a good point. This does prove Trump right again because Biden never fires anyone.
It's true. Yes. That was my thought when I read that. I'm like, oh, you have to fire somebody for this. Somebody has to be fired.
Yeah, you would think so, but if they're so poorly organized, I am shocked. Boats haven't landed on our beaches yet.
Thank you, Dangerous. Joe showered with his daughter when it was probably not appropriate. Checked his watch when soldiers got killed returning home. Won't acknowledge his granddaughter. Honorable man, my fucking ass. Yeah, he's not an honorable man. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he always has been.
Yeah, the granddaughter one, I hadn't even thought of that for the honorable man. That alone is proof he's not an honorable man. That's your granddaughter. Whether your shitbag son will acknowledge it or not, she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Why are you punishing her for the sins of her father?
She's not even allowed to use the Biden name.
Yeah.
That's how the fuck you stop somebody from using a name? And maybe, you know what she should do? She should come out and identify as a Biden. What are they going to do? No, scientifically, that's impossible. Actually, scientifically, it's right, but whatever.
Is she going to get caught sniffing someone's hair?
Maybe she sniffs her own hair. It runs in the family.
Oh.
Don't worry, kiddo. In a few years, you won't care about it anymore. You'll be too old. Anyhow, the backlash from it's amazing how. Now, Cenk Uygur was on that show, as was Hassan, and both of them have been saying Biden is a shitty candidate for a while. Yeah. In fairness to them, they've gotten that part right. Hassan thinks that the best replacement, and I'm not making this up, is Big Wretch. The G is silent.
I've been hearing her name tossed around a lot.
So many people are saying her name, and I don't understand why.
Well, she was a hero to the left during the lockdowns because remember she killed a bunch of old people.
Yeah,
with the six. So yeah, I think that's why is they don't like old people and they want to murder more of them. You know, from Moloch.
I think that she's not going to be as good as they think they would do. I think the same with Gavin. I haven't seen a single name yet. The one that I saw that maybe Rokana. I don't know enough about his background to know, my governor right now is in the process of getting rid of the oversight on her administration because every time the government watchdog, and in our case, it actually is a government watchdog. It's the government accounting office here in Michigan. Every time they look into what she's doing, they're like, yeah, you're fucking up real bad. And so she decided to gut their budget.
Are you shocked? I mean, that seems like something she'd do. She's a very vindictive woman.
How are you going to put somebody that is so bad at their job, she has to stop the people looking into how bad she is at her job and go, yeah, that's who we should get?
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but if you don't look for the flaws, they don't exist, right?
Yeah, and that is the other part of it is that any one of these, if we get an honest look at them, they're all trash. Every name that keeps coming up, including Kamala.
Oh, absolutely. They're garbage candidates. Gavin Newsom can't win in a swing state, especially in the Rust Belt.
I was talking to somebody about it on Twitter, and I'm like, the truth is somebody like Gavin Newsom probably could win. He probably could. And they'll just hide what he did. And they asked me, do you really think the mainstream media has that much power still?
Yeah.
Look at how many people were shocked at Joe Biden last night. Does the media still hold that power? Absolutely. Joe Biden, this is not new. He was doing this kind of shit in 2019. In the 2020 debate, Chris Wallace had to do the debating because Joe couldn't. And I want to speak about that too, because the one thing that the Joe Biden supporters have latched onto, and including Ilhan Omar came out and said this: the moderators should have been fact-checking Trump. Forget the fact that Joe Biden was lying constantly last night. What little wording he could get out properly was mostly filled with lies.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I want to give Piers Morgan credit, because he repeatedly pointed that out to people. Because like Harry says, what I watched was an old man versus a con man who just kept lying. All Trump did was lie. And Piers was like, well, actually, people looked at what Joe did say, and he was lying constantly too. Nobody has said, oh, yeah, the moderator should have been fact-checking Joe. Everybody's like, they should have been fact-checking Trump. Do y'all understand what a moderator is? The moderator is not the one who's supposed to be fact-checking. That should be the guy debating. It's and again, to the credit of both Cenk Uygur, cannot believe I'm saying that, and Piers Morgan, they were like, no, the person who should have been fact-checking Trump is Joe Biden. If you think Trump was up there lying and he got away with it, the person who let him get away with it was Joe Biden. And in fairness, he didn't really let him get away with it. He's old and didn't know where he was. Have you seen the pictures from the debate where Donald Trump and Joe Biden? You know what? Let me see if I can find it, because it's an amazing picture. And I noticed it last night. The moderators are in front of Joe and Donald Trump, right? And that's why you see Donald Trump looking straight ahead. He's looking at the moderators in the camera. They did it that way on purpose so that, it looks like they're looking into the camera as they are addressing the moderators. And Joe Biden is looking off to the side. I'm not talking about when he's looking down at the ground, or when he's kind of weirdly staring at Trump like a dog when you switch a tennis ball between your hands.
Like Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel.
Yeah. He is just staring off. Let me see if I can find that one.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. You're both totally wrong. The Democrat presidential nominee will be Stacey Abrams. She would have to step down from being governor of Georgia, but that's fine. Abrams 2024. It'll be amazing. I concur. Send that gap tooth fatty over to run for president and watch her pretend.
Trump's eyes are this way towards this camera, but he's still facing forward. Joe is actually turned. He's not even looking at the camera.
No,
his eyes are up here.
He sees his friend Senator Byrd off to the side because he sees spooky ghosts.
Apparently, he is looking at the gallery. He sees Lincoln up there about to get shot.
Right? Maybe he did it.
The man wasn't even fucking there. He didn't know where he was. And he actually looks more coherent in this still picture than he did all night long. I was watching back through some of the debate and just watching Joe's face. It was horrific.
Yeah.
He's looking for Jackie. Look, if I'm Joe Biden, I stay away from Dealey Plaza for the next few months.
Oh, shit.
If they announce a surprise visit to Dallas, because we got to shore up support in the South, Joe, don't go, man. Because future generations are going to have to argue about the grassy knoll.
Yeah, we don't want any more back into the left arguments. We got enough problems.
Yeah, this is stay away from theaters and plazas, Joe, because they are gonna. I thought they were gonna kill Trump. They're gonna take out this motherfucker first.
Oh man, well, I'm not convinced that they're not going after both at this point.
Sure. It was just such a bad showing, and the number of people who are trying to even defend it. Did you see Mark Cuban?
Mark Cuban's retarded. I'm really sure.
He really is. Piers Morgan said he even had to reach out to him like, dude, really? You're getting shown up by Piers Morgan, man. There are very few people who are trying to defend it, though, which at least, I mean, shows that I don't want to say that they're good people, because if they were good people, they would have noticed. They wouldn't have had to see this last night. These are partisan people who have been lying all along, lying to themselves. I believe that they believed he wasn't bad for most people. No, I don't believe it about anybody in the fucking press, because they have access to video and footage you and I will never see. The stuff that they cut up, the stuff that they actually do the cheap fakes with to try to make it look like the guy who can't even get off of a bicycle without falling down is coherent. But your average person, the person who only sees stuff through the media, I believe that they were like, no, he just had a senior moment. But at some point you have to count up how many senior moments he's had and realizes that it's just one long senior moment. Like, how many times has he got to get lost on his lawn before you go, yeah, maybe there's something wrong there?
Right.
How many times has he got to shit himself before you go, ooh? Joe's debate was a senior moment. Yeah. The New York Post put out a video, the worst moments from last night for Joe Biden. And I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to play the whole debate. And actually, they only put 2 clips. And yeah, they were both very bad ones. But you could do that with almost the whole thing. His first fucking answer was horrible.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the point, you know, I'm going to share this one because I think this is a great meme. We'll put this one on the screen. If y'all want stuff to look at, I know people like stuff to look at. There you go. If you get this joke, it's funny as fuck.
I laughed so hard when I saw that.
It's Joe Pike. Anyway,
That's Captain to you.
Captain Joe Pike. My bad. I lost my train of thought when I was looking at this picture. It's not a Biden moment. I got distracted and it Pike and stop it. Yeah. I don't know how Joe recovers from this. I really don't.
There's no idea, dude.
Reportedly, this is behind the scenes, so take it with a grain of salt if you must, but reportedly Joe's people are very, very nervous about the second debate.
You think?
And they have to be, because he can't get out of it. The only way he can get out of it is with a medical emergency or something horrible that they can point to Trump and then go, I won't share a stage with a guy who does that. And here's why. Go back to what I said at the beginning of all of this. The way that this all started was that Trump was supposedly afraid to debate Biden. So if he backs out now, there's no way for this not to look like he's just afraid of Trump.
Yeah.
There's no way. What they should have done is just had a Kennedy emergency. God damn it, Monk. That's hypnagogic, Monk. I can't say your damn name. So I wasn't talking to myself there. He's on our Rumble chat.
That's
hypnagogic. But yeah, there's no way for him to get out of this and save face. And remember what else I told you. This is a very egotistical man. What little bit of his brain is still there is still entirely egotistical. He is an arrogant, narcissistic prick. And there's no way that they don't have another debate. And if they do, the political backlash for it, after we all got to see that, everybody will know. And they're worried that it'll look like, oh, he's afraid of Trump. That's not what anybody is going to be saying. They're going to be going, Yeah, he's so bad they don't want us to see him, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Evil One. I was going to get to that. Martin Mull died today.
Yeah, another good one lost.
Oh man, when I was a kid and in the early that man was in everything.
Yeah, he really was. He showed up in the strangest stuff.
He had a few sitcoms that he did where he was a regular, but I don't know how many people today, young people today. A lot of you older fuckers, you know who he is. But I don't know how many young people today know Martin Mull. And this is him on the screen. He was a really good actor, very funny guy. And RIP, man. 70 years old, I think it was. Ain't that some shit? Roseanne's gay boss? Yeah. What else did he play? Fuck, he was in everything back then.
Yeah, he was
often seen in sitcoms as a one or two off character.
Yeah.
A lot of side characters. There's a few things where he was a little. I keep in my mind confusing him with Dabney Coleman. So
I can see that. Yeah.
Clue, yes, he played Colonel Mustard in Clue. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's so stupid.
That might be his biggest one, or the one most people know him. My
him or me?
Got muted somehow, then I didn't do it. I don't know. I'm still here. I didn't actually get kicked out. Yeah, he was in so much shit.
Yeah, he was in Jingle All the Way, Mr. Mom.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
I'm looking for his full videography, but
let's see. He was even on NCIS Los Angeles, which that show sucked.
He was apparently in 2.5 Men, which I never watched. He was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was in everything back in the day, man. He was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, he was even on Danny Phantom, that cartoon that inspired that killer.
Oh yeah, Hollywood Squares. I know Danny Phantom not as much from the killer, but from the show. My children used to watch it. They loved it.
Never saw it before. Gary Shandling show.
Was he really on that? I don't remember him on that, but I believe you.
4 episodes as himself. Probably just being interviewed. He was in the movie Ski Patrol. He was on Smothers Brothers.
Wow, he goes all the way back to Smothers Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also today, Thomas Massey announced that his wife of 35 years passed away.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That's
high school. That one hit me hard. I don't know her. Her name was Rhonda. I don't know anything about her, and they didn't announce the cause of death. But he says married 35 years to his high school sweetheart, and I went, "Oh, damn." That hits a little close to home.
Yeah.
And there ain't many of us who are actually, even people who are married a long time, don't seem to be married to their high school sweethearts that long anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I got lucky. I found a good woman in high school. I know. There's a lot of YouTube creators out there who can claim that same thing, but I was actually in high school at the time. I wasn't an adult like they are.
Oh, and you've never been a teacher. So.
Never been a teacher. Oh man, yeah. So it's been a weird day. Weird day.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of an odd one.
I woke up today to wonderful news. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not being facetious when I say that.
Asshole the cricket died?
No.
Oh.
Why are you rooting for one of our cast members to die?
Because he's an asshole.
He is an asshole, but so am I. No. I'm going to put this title on the screen. I want to read it in all its glory on the screen. Come on, there we go. The Supreme Court weakens federal regulators overturning decades-old Chevron decision.
Oh my God.
They overturned Chevron deference.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually shocking.
In a 6-3 decision, can you guess which three said no?
Roberts,
No,
Sotomayor.
Roberts wrote the
Barrett.
Roberts wrote the opinion.
Oh.
It was the three liberal justices: Sotomayor, Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah, of course. Though they were like, "No, how dare you!" And I saw one guy who's like, "This shows that Clarence Thomas sold out on Chevron because back in 2005, he wrote the opinion on a case that said Chevron was fine," which is not what he said. And that this shows that he's just been bought out. The difference is this was a case specifically challenging Chevron, where the other one was a case challenging a regulation that had been changed. And under the precedent, they made the right call. It was Chevron is a bad decision in the first place, but they do go by precedent. Yeah. And without them specifically challenging that precedent, which is what happened here, the opinion that Justice Thomas wrote then went with the facts as they were. But in this case, they pointed out, Roberts, in writing the opinion, that the statutory language that sets up regulation and the ability for, I guess we should explain to people what this is. The case itself was specifically about a bunch of fishermen and how the fishing industry is regulated, and they were forcing these guys to pay for government employees to come on their boat to make sure they weren't fishing too much. And they were like, "This is bullshit. You can't do that." And of course, the federal government went, we're a regulatory body. The Fish and Wildlife, it's a regulatory body. We can do whatever we want. Chevron deference says so. And these guys went, well, Chevron deference is bullshit. Deference is bullshit. And that's what the court came down with, because the statutory language of the law that, sets up your different federal agencies says that they have to basically follow legislation. It can't just be some ambiguous shit and be like, you guys go decide what you want to do.
This makes me wonder how this is going to affect the ATF.
Well, right now, at least according to Roberts in the decision, this doesn't affect any existing cases. So anything where somebody wants to challenge something, it's all got to be done brand new. Oh, it can really hurt them. It absolutely can. But it won't in the immediate short term. The cases will have to work their way through probably the appellate court. So yeah, the moral of the story, don't fuck with a man's boat, right? Yeah. This was the right decision, because you can't. I saw people going, oh, now Congress is going to have to legislate everything. No, they don't, first of all. But second of all, if they want to have some regulation, by constitutional decree, they are supposed to actually write a specific bill that says this is how it is. Instead, what they did is they came up with these regulatory agencies and were like, we're just going to give all of our power to these guys, so you can't kick me out of office over it, because I didn't do it. I just said, we're going to have the EPA. So when they come down with a really stupid decision, I didn't make the stupid decision. My name's not on that shit.
Yeah.
Congress, who has really nothing but time on their hands. And it's always been like that, Jack. There's a reason it wasn't just that they had to travel a long time to get back home, why they were only in session for a few months a year. They didn't have that much stuff to do, because they're not supposed to have that much stuff to do. But these people who already didn't have that much to do just keep giving away their powers and being like, you take care of that. War power? No, fuck it. Just let the president do whatever he wants to. He want to go bomb somebody? Let him do it. No big deal. They've just kept over and over giving away their responsibilities. And Chevron helped them do that. And what the Chevron case said was that when it comes to whether or not a regulation is okay, that they would defer to the agency experts rather than having courts decide whether or not the new regulation made any sense. Now, just imagine COVID, Jack. All of the scientists who came out during COVID, how hundreds, thousands, they all sign on. Yeah, COVID is the worst. Those are the kind of experts that get into, say, like, I don't know, the NIH, and get to decide what we can and can't do with our health. Well, and that's who was given deference.
I guess that this is going to be a good thing when it comes to, forcing doctors to not transition people.
Yeah. The same doctors, the same experts who say, oh, no, you can totally be born in the wrong body. That's who they would give deference to. And the Supreme Court came out and went, no, fuck that. And it was the right decision. It's absolutely the right decision. And I was so happy. That is literally the first thing I read when I woke up yesterday. I was like, yes. Monkey had a Supreme Court boner for a while. It's okay. Barrett is on there now, so it's not as weird to get a boner looking at the Supreme Court.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
What was the other decision that they came out with today?
I know they had another one, but I didn't see. I saw somebody mention that they had two major decisions. Honestly, I didn't even look at the other one because, like I said, it was very shortly after I woke up that I got surprised with some little ones. And so I have not had a good chance to see. Let's go to their docket here. A provision of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Government must establish that the defendants impaired the ability or integrity for use in the official proceeding. Oh, wait. Is that the Trump decision?
I think it's the J6 one. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's one that is officially coming out on Monday that they were talking about on the radio, but I don't remember. I just kind of heard it while I was in the middle of something.
The Sarbanes-Oxley Act, of 2002 imposes criminal liability on anyone who corruptly alters, destroys, manipulates, or conceals a record, document, or other object. Real quick, thank you, FYI, Bob. Chevron Dextron is a distraction over the idiotic decision they made over allowing censorship. That means you guys won't have a channel if you don't change your tone or completely remove your video. I talked about that decision the other day, and unfortunately, I mean, that was the decision everybody knew they were going to come to. They punted instead of actually addressing the issue, which was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
No, it's not just a distraction from that. This is the time of year where all the cases are coming out. They have very few cases left to decide. At the end of, basically starting about mid-May, they start releasing their decisions. And then June, they really start dropping them all so that they can go on their summer break before the new session starts again. I want to say August, but don't quote me on. Anyway, held to prove a violation of 1512, the government must establish that the defendant impaired the ability or integrity for use in an official proceeding of record, blah, 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 used in an official proceeding. I mean, to determine I'll have to read through that one. What was the other one? They dropped another one today, too. City of Grants Pass versus Johnson. It's about camping. I don't give a shit about camping.
Camping is like traveling, Monkey.
You want to go out there and LARP as homeless people? It's none of my business, but I'm not doing it.
People do that in downtown Seattle all the time.
They're doing it in big cities everywhere now, Jack. Camping is all the rage. That's why there's pop-up tents everywhere.
That's true.
This isn't the specific one to the J6 case, is it?
I don't know. Told you I don't remember.
Let's see. Roberts delivered the opinion, which Thomas, Gorsuch, Alito, Kavanaugh, and Jackson joined. Jackson filed a concurring. Barrett filed a dissenting, in which Sotomayor and Kagan joined. See, this is why I don't trust Barrett. I don't, because there's too many times where it's like the badges all kind of just sink.
Yeah, well, some of them are too old, but I get what you're saying.
I'll have to read Barrett's thing. Again, with Barrett, it's almost always procedural, and it's annoying as shit. That's why the one that FYI Bob was just talking about.
Yeah.
It was kicked out on standing, and it was a bullshit reading of standing. But anyhow, yeah, I'll have to read through that one. I get that is the other. They only released 3, so that has to be the other one because I guarantee you nobody was like, "Yeah, the Supreme Court came down on camping law."
You don't know. People
I do.
love camping.
I absolutely do. They also said homeless people can be removed from sleeping on public property. I'm guessing that's what the camping one is all about. But yeah, the Supreme Court did a good thing today with the Chevron deference because deference. I keep saying deference. I don't know why.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That is a major decision. Congress they were just slapped in the face and told you guys actually have to do your job now. It'll be interesting to see how many new regulations they pass and how many of them are willing to put their fucking names on it. Because there's a whole lot of really bad regulations out there. A lot of them that are onerous or just plain stupid. That are allowed to exist because it's experts agreed. And if experts agree, then the law should be passed. Put your fucking name on it. So if you screw up, then I can vote your ass out and we get somebody in who can fix it. Anyhow, what else did I have? Did all those. The Republicans. The Republicans, Jack. So yesterday we see the debate, right?
The debate.
And Joe Biden absolutely shits the bed, probably literally. And the Republicans have a win, we fucked them up win. And instead of just going with that win, they decided what they're going to do is vote on whether or not to hold Garland in contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Garland should absolutely be held in contempt. I don't disagree with that at all. But you could wait a day or two before giving the press the ability to just ignore the fact that our president's a fucking retard. Give them something else to look at other than his horrible thing. Look at they're doing this thing that's not going to matter again. You can hold him in contempt all you want to. You're holding him in contempt for not prosecuting himself. All right. Yeah, you guys wasted time again. Yay.
Well, if there's one thing the Republicans are good at, it's snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Because they don't want to win. They want to be the losers.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't.
Because they're stupid. And let's face it, most of them are rhinos anyway, so they're kind of butthurt because they hate Trump.
Oh, I wanted to address this too because I saw people talking about it, and there's a theory going around. I don't know how well you can be able to hear this because it's somebody recording their television, but this was going around today here.
He practices with the mics. He knows every one of these questions is coming, and yet he couldn't fill the time.
Okay, what she says is he practiced with the mic. He knows every one of these questions is coming, and he still couldn't fill the time. And a lot of people are pointing to this and going, oh, look, CNN is admitting that Joe Biden had the questions in advance. That is absolutely not what she's saying here. He may have had the questions in advance. I have no doubt he had the questions in advance.
Yeah, it's CNN.
But that's not actually what she's saying here. What she's saying here is he was expecting these questions. She said it horribly. He knows every one of these questions is coming. And frankly, I didn't even realize some of these questions would be coming because I can't believe Jake Tapper asked a few of them. I stopped and even pointed it out at the time. But yeah, this was not proof of CNN giving him any advanced knowledge of the questions, which look at his answers. If they did, holy shit.
Talk about ill prepared.
Mm-hmm. This is just them. It is a colloquialism that's been used many times. You know that question's coming. That doesn't mean somebody actually told you the question was coming. Any decent media person knows what things they would ask. Yeah. It's not the conspiracy some people were trying to make it out to be. It's just the way people talk. Don't turn into the left and read weird shit into everything that's said. Don't be like, Hitler once said the word the. Don't be that person.
Whatever, I do what I want.
It was clearly just them saying it that way. What else do I have? No, I don't care about that one. What I get blocked for on that one? Oh, so this lady said that what she saw on the stage last night was a liar, and then a man who really put out his vision. And I forget exactly how she said it, and I can't see it now because I've been blocked by her. But basically, she said, she saw a liar, and then Joe Biden, who was a shining example of the best thing ever. And then she said this: I wonder if it's only women who saw that. And like, if you saw that, you wanted to see that.
Yeah, you're kind of tarded.
I mean, Harry Sisson is getting paid to be a lying dumbass. He's getting paid to make a joke of himself. I hope you are too. Because otherwise, all you've done is just taken your credibility and shit all over it. If you saw last night and thought Joe Biden did well, he literally could have died halfway through, and you'd be the kind of person to go, he killed the last half. He absolutely destroyed Trump in the last half of that debate because you saw what you wanted to see. And I also want to point out, I don't think Trump did that great. I saw a ton of people, Trump did great. He didn't do great. He did okay. He did good for himself. He didn't hurt himself there. And while everybody was expecting to come out of the debate talking about Trump, everybody was just talking about how bad Biden was.
Yeah, Trump didn't need to be on his A+ game. He just needed to show up and not be over the top.
If he had a decent opponent last night, there would be great chatter about who actually won.
Yeah.
And people would be able to make points on both sides of it. There was no clear victory just from what Trump said. He did okay. He did all right.
Yeah, he did fine. And I think he actually showed that he can be professional and act like a mature grown-up. But that all everything Trump said gets overshadowed and gets an asterisk because of what Biden did. Yeah. Which was, looked like he's shitting his pants in real time.
Well, even last night when you and I would point out that Trump's answer wasn't good, I mean, I think every time we said that, but he's still standing next to Joe Biden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's the little asterisk you have to put on everything.
So Monk's low grade. What part of Trump's speech last night was the real great part of it? I mean, he over exaggerated things that he should have just taken normal credit for because he's Trump. He got a couple of zingers in on Joe, but at that point, it really was like beating up an old man. It's okay. He's an old man too, so it's not like a kid beating up an old man, even though it kind of looked like it. Like some 18-year-olds out there punching Biden. No. But there was a part where it's just like, God damn. I mean, we even mentioned it where it's like Trump's got to be careful. He's going to come off looking like he's bullying a dementia patient.
Yeah, I think Trump was very aware of that.
They were expecting an argumentative Trump. Being level-headed messed with it. This is the other thing. I saw a ton of people like, I just wish Trump would have answered the questions more. I think there's two questions that I don't think Trump answered at all. He had to be redirected a couple of times, and then he did answer. The one question he answered, then got redirected and answered it again. But he was answering questions, but yeah, he would stop to get his and we mentioned that too, where he should have answered it first and then went back to the previous point.
Yeah, but I think he had that on his mind at the time, and they weren't
Right.
giving him rebuttals as much as they were Biden.
And that's another thing. I saw a ton of people giving CNN credit for the debate, and they're like, they did great. It was pretty fair, and I think that has more to do with what we expected from them than them actually being fair.
How sad is that?
Because like Trump gets specifically asked about January 6th. He gets asked about why, you got felonies. They don't press Biden on anything really hard at all. And they kept giving Biden extra answers, which remember were at the moderator's discretion.
Yeah.
Going into both commercial breaks, Donald Trump should have had a chance to respond to what Biden had just said.
No, nobody wants to hear from that bully orange man.
Thank you, Dark. The Dark Sayings. The Republic has failed. The voters are either too immoral or uneducated to be trusted with the ballot. Monarchy is solution. This is America. Monarchy is not the solution.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's time to reconsider some stuff.
I think having a stake in it is actually what should matter. There are too many people.
Unfortunately, the education system has failed, and a lot of people don't understand what's at stake.
I hear you. I don't even think it's that. I think it's people voting their interest. Let me get this first. Dangerous Spaces, thank you. The very fine people hoax. No soldier died under my watch. Less people crossing the border under Joe's presidency. And that's just off the top of my head. These but Trump lies people are morons. No, Dangerous. They're not morons. They're liars. They know what they're lying about. But when it comes to the voters, the problem is, all right, Jack, you're poor.
Point out the obvious.
Hypothetically, you're living under a bridge. You're eating.
Working on it.
You found out of a trash can.
Yeah.
And next to you is a guy driving a Bentley. I don't even know what good cars are anymore. He's driving a Bugatti. That's what we'll do. That's the one the kid, right? That ugly piece of shit car.
Is it a Tate brother?
It's a Tate, yeah. He's got $1 billion. And they come to you and go, okay, each of you guys get a vote. And the question is, should you get half of his money?
Well,
you're eating out of a trash can.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm entitled to half his money.
Maybe doesn't mean you're entitled to it, but most people would be like, oh, hell yeah, he should have to give me half his money.
Well, yeah, because they're selfish that way.
Indeed. It's a matter of self-interest.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when we open the vote. Instead of it being property owners, instead of it being the people who have a stake in the game, to just everybody.
But if we open it up to just property owners, the Chinamen will have a vote.
Imagine a poker tournament, right?
Okay.
And everybody sitting at the table has to bet based on what the audience tells them to do.
Oh, it's like the Hunger Games of gambling. Am I still homeless in this scenario?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
That's what we have with the American political system. Because the people with the stake in the game, they get a vote. But so do all the people who are just watching and aren't actually participating. And the only difference is now the audience gets a share of the winnings. They don't care. Whoever wins, they get a share of it because everybody's promising them money. Everybody's promising to take care of them. Republican, Democrat, Green. The only ones who kind of don't are the libertarians, and even they're starting to do that shit because they've been so infested with the Bernie people.
Yeah.
Dark Sayings, thank you. Hear me out. We conscripted parliament of working class citizens to serve a 2-year term as a check against the crown. Stop.
No, I like what I'm hearing so far.
No.
Yeah, it could be like the Queen Amidala thing. They're voted in to be monarch.
But if you just conscript people to be parliamentary, that's like running the country by jury duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Why? If I can't get out of jury duty, fuck everyone else.
All right. Imagine the Trump jury gets to make the decisions in our country. There you go.
Well, look, at this point, I'm becoming very nihilistic. So don't tempt me with a comedy value of that.
Oh, it would be absolutely hilarious if I wasn't an American.
Yeah,
I'm the one that's got to live with that shit.
True. You should get yourself some guns. That's what they're called.
No, what we need is our government leaders held to account. We need a better media because that, again, is our problem. Why?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. So you just leave.
It
us
can. It can if we stop putting up with it and people start supporting alternatives. The problem is you need alternatives that are not liars either.
Well, good luck with that.
We face a problem now that even right-wing media, they still have an agenda. It's in the word right wing.
Yeah.
How about truth media?
Oh, good luck with that.
But our problem is that they encourage this because it helps them with what they want. They talk about the unity part or the uniparty. There's a uniparty. You're voting for him.
Your mom's a uniparty.
Yeah. My mom's dead.
I wasn't saying specifically you.
How do you bring that up? Make me cry.
I was talking about the media, not you. Not everything's about you, monkey.
The moderator asked very specifically about black people, and then they pretend it's weird to talk about black jobs. These people are liars, like Monkey said. Yeah, they're just liars. I was waiting to see what the spin would be today to try to make this look better for Joe, because there's just no making it look better. And so there were two distractions going on. One was the Trump lied. The moderator should have stepped in. And then the other one, oddly enough, was just the question about whether or not Joe would step down. They're not talking about why Joe should step down. They're not highlighting all of it. I saw a word today that I don't see very often. And I saw it over and over again in the news media.
Wow.
Halting.
What?
Halting. Halting. Joe's performance was halting.
Well, that's weird. I'd have gone with pestilence. That's not
Most people are not going to understand the context of halting. If they had said Joe was slow, Joe was incoherent, but they weren't using that word. They were using halting. And that sounds like that's odd. Go ahead.
That sounds like he came to an abrupt stop because a crossing guard told him to.
Yeah. You can always tell when the media is spinning something at you because there's a new buzzword that pops up.
Yeah. Everybody starts using it.
Everybody. Like halting. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Did you see Joe Biden's big thing? There was actually a news story about this.
Oh, no.
Joe Biden has given Donald Trump a nickname. Donald Herbert Hoover Trump.
That's lame. Wow. Is that the best they could come up with? Like, Hooverville was a thing. That sounded good. People they wanted to blame Hoover for the Depression. Fine. There's no Trumpvilles. What are you gonna do?
Well,
put a bunch of Republicans together and they're gonna go hunting?
It's worse than that.
We're having a tent city and we're having a Trumpville. We're gonna go camping.
It's worse than that. You understand the context of what it means to call him Herbert Hoover. How many kids in their even 30s know that Hoover was president at the time? That he gives us the Great Depression.
Many people have heard of Herbert Hoover. They probably think he made the Hoover vacuum cleaner.
Exactly. And somebody said it very well in my response to this. They responded to me and said, if you have to look it up on Google, it's not a good nickname.
Yeah.
But the media tried putting that. Yeah, look what he did.
He made a reference from nearly 100 years ago.
Yeah, to something nobody knows.
Yeah. It said he was like him and Glenn Campbell was hanging out together, see, and Paul Whiteman and the Rhythm Boys came along, and I was like, that's a Rhythm Boy is what that is.
Evolve says, I know, but I like political history. Yeah, consider this. Every time they do a man on the street and they ask just random people, hey, who's the vice president? It is amazing how many can't answer it. And this is something that's been happening since the Johnny Carson days. Go out and be like, hey, who's the vice president? They're like, Steve.
Yeah.
But you expect them to remember a president from 95 years ago?
Right? Real fast. Thank you, Evolved Potato. No, I agree with Dark Sayings. An American monarchy, under me, of course, I will rule with a fair hand. I suspect you would be Joffrey, Evolved, and you will smite people for looking at you wrong, especially if you consider them an agent of the cloud people.
33 kid. I mean, I get the reference. To me, 33 is still a kid, man. That's a long time ago for me, man. That's almost decades ago. It's closer to decades than decade ago now.
Yeah, enjoy your 30s, guys. It's a golden time where things don't quite hurt as bad when you do stupid shit, and you can get up in the morning and not go, ouch, I did that while I was sleeping.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people can't name people that to you and me are just common names. But remember, not everybody's into the same things that we are. A lot of people don't like politics at all. A lot of people hate history, which is amazing to me.
That's because they had bad history teachers.
I hear you, but I don't necessarily think it's that. I think that a lot of it seems so far removed from where you are. And I think it takes a certain age for most people to get to where they're like, oh, I get why that was important now.
Yeah.
And just throwing it at them like, yeah, fuck it. I will tell you right now, I do not remember a goddamn thing. The only thing I remember from my world history class, because I had it back in 8th grade, is that there was a Tigris and Euphrates River. That's all I remember.
Well, that's something, I guess. I mean, let's start.
Everything else went in one ear and out the other because I didn't give a fuck. Not a single fuck. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more into history. Now, American history was always a little bit more entertaining to me, but it was still dry. That's why like movies can help. That's why, as much as I know a lot of people hate when I talk about this, I like Hamilton because it got people into like, oh wow, American history, which is very fucking important.
Hey, all these guys are white.
Yeah. Do you think there's anybody who watched Hamilton like, oh, I should go check into them for real? And they saw a picture of Hamilton and went, fuck.
Probably a lot.
That's an old white guy. And he wasn't even actually old. He just looked it because he was wearing that white English hair thing they used to do.
Well, people died at like 40 of dysentery. So, I mean, he was old by the standard of the day.
Well, he was like, what, in his 20s during the Revolution or just in his 20s at the end?
There were a lot of the founding fathers were surprisingly young by our standards.
A lot of the people, you know, because the life expectancy was so low back then, but that wasn't really, especially by the time of the revolution, it wasn't that, you know, people were dying at 30. It was actually that so many kids died before 5 that it just completely skewed how old people actually got.
Yeah, well, it was easier to get an infection. There were no antibiotics, no medical knowledge. A lot of things could go wrong. You get a splinter and bad shit. Some sawbones is like, hey, come over here, little buddy.
Well, it's amazing how many of the founders or old historical figures that you read about, and it's like, yeah, they had 10 kids. One made it to adulthood. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I mean, you had like typhus and cholera, and no, people were having babies on dirty bed sheets, and the moms were dying left and right. Yeah, it was a horrible way to go. There was they didn't understand anything about medicine. It was completely barbaric.
At the founding of this country, this is true. You can look it up. You had a 50-50 shot to live past 5. Ugh. About half the kids that were born died before they were 5. Ain't that some shit? But yeah, that and so once we started learning how to, you know, keep our kids from dying, the average life expectancy jumped real big until COVID, when we started killing old people, and it dropped a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Whoopsie.
if you're old, don't be in an old folks' home, or
Way to go, Big
Cuomo
Rich.
and Whitmer will come a looking.
Yeah,
So,
apparently there's
they're old.
rumors now that Cuomo is thinking about another run at the governor's mansion as a conservative.
I hope whoever campaigns against him just finds photos of all the old people he kills, makes a montage so it looks like some Nazi war crime trial.
I don't see how he could even do it. I mean, he needs to just be like, you know what? I got away with it. Because he had to leave office over some very vague I hate defending the man, bullshit sexual harassment allegations.
Yeah, but they weren't about to admit that he was responsible for getting the old people dead.
He runs against Hochul, they'll care. That
That's
shit'll
true.
be everywhere. Yeah. So I said he should just look, man, you're already rich. You got wealthy off of your political career. Go sit your ass down and let somebody else do it.
Yeah. Yeah, smallpox. That when we eradicated smallpox, life expectancy went up.
Oh, yeah.
Same with malaria, which is still kind of a problem in some places. There's a great book called Pax Americana. It was about the smallpox in America, obviously. I highly recommend it.
Old people died in nursing homes, but not in general population. Lots of old people did die. There's no doubt that there was a massive uptick in deaths from COVID, and like 75% of it was old people.
Well, they all had pre-existing shit too.
Sure,
so
yeah.
Fucking ancient.
I mean, but it would be like if we had a massive outbreak of pneumonia. It's going to kill old people.
Yeah.
Because they're weaker. Joe Biden is not surviving his next COVID. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's sadly probably true. Oh my God. Do you think the CIA will get him that way?
Why not? Oh, no, he just had a cold. Isn't that what we heard last night?
Yeah.
He had a cold, y'all. Oh, it turned out it was COVID. Oh, he's gone.
He got the CIA strain of the flu.
You did so good. You answered every question. That is so insulting.
Oh my God, that was so bad. His wife is a monster.
She is. Jill Biden is a horrible, horrible person. Now, on the Piers Morgan show, it's Piers Morgan Uncensored here on YouTube. Check it out. I watch it quite a bit because they have some interesting people on. Not Hassan Piker. I don't know why he keeps bringing that fucking retard on. It's almost turning into blood sports at times. It was so bad the other day, the last time Hassan was on, that Piers just ended the segment. It was actually quite funny.
That was pathetic. Hassan's a child.
He is. But on the show yesterday, Piers brings up Jill Biden, and it might have even started because of Jenna Ellis. But they're bringing up, like, hey, why doesn't this guy's family love him? He should be home somewhere. They should be protecting him at this stage he's in. He needs protected. He needs constant care. He needs to be rested. He does not need to be out there, trying to be president. And this is when they bring in the fat, bald, gay guy who's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. If it's me, I really want my family to support me. And I'm sorry, I'm doing the gay voice. I really want my family to support me and love me like Jill loves Joe.
Did Brian Stelter?
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
I forget the guy's name, and I don't care to learn it right now. But it was just sad. It's like, you really want your family to abuse you for fun and profit? Because that's what they're doing here.
Well, I mean, is it funny? Maybe then.
Piers is still relevant. Yeah. He's still on television down there or out there, and he has his I think it's not daily, but it's several times a week where he does Piers Uncensored here on YouTube. Yeah, he has a lot of good debates on there. Plus, occasionally he brings on Pearl, and I get to make fun of her.
That's true.
Which is always a good time. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, she's apparently moving back to the United States. So if anybody wants to, fuck an ugly woman with a penis, she's going to be on the market here in the States soon, guys. This is the face of elder abuse. Yeah, no shit. The woman is a horrible, horrible person.
You did such a good job, Joey. You're going to get a cookie. Mommy's cookie.
How do you look at how she reacted to him there? That statement, the way she said it to him after that debate, and not go, even she knows how bad he is, and she is just using him as a prop for this.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Good night, Pyrus.
Have a good one, Pyrus. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And again, we've joked about this stuff. Of course we have, because they keep putting him out there. But we have said since the beginning, it's really not funny.
It's not. Look, Joe Biden is an awful human being, but just let the man retire. He's a piece of shit, sure, but this is disgusting behavior. And I don't like watching people be abused, even if they're scumbags.
When we were done last night, I was exhausted. And not just from streaming for basically 10 hours straight, but from watching Joe. And
dude, I had such a headache from that.
The Republican spokesperson who came on to Piers says to her, oh, I bet you guys are happy tonight. I bet you were smiling last night. She goes, I wasn't smiling. She goes, yeah, we're happy that Trump had a good performance. She goes, but there was nothing happy about what I was watching. I don't like Joe Biden. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a liar. I think he's a horrible fucking person who has probably ruined a ton of lives. He's corrupt as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to watch an old man get abused on television.
No, there's something inherently disgusting about that.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy people getting treated like dirt, I guess.
No. What we watched last night, that should have been stopped. Those debate moderators should have went, yeah, this is not right. You need to be in a fucking home. We're ending this now. And we kind of got that, Danae Bash up there like, that's enough, Joe. Shut up, Joe. She didn't say it quite that way. Just, the end. Stop. It's done. Your time's up. Which is weird because they never did that to Trump. And he only really talked over once. But
yeah, she
shut Joe down several times. And again, I want to go back and time it and see if it was actually 120 seconds. Bet you some of those were at 90 seconds instead of the full 2 minutes. Like, cut him off. Yeah, it got to a point where there was no fun in it for me. And I love debating. I love politics. And that should have been a great time for me. And by the end of it, I was just exhausted from it because that was horrible. That was horrible to watch.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know, man.
Wait.
I really don't care for that.
Consider this, Jack. I love being right. And we were proven so right last night. We've been saying this since 2019.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happy about being right.
Because you don't want to be right about somebody losing their mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious then. He should have been put in a home back then so he could have enjoyed the last couple of years of his senility.
Yeah.
But now it's just sad and tragic and abusive.
Yeah, it's just abusive. And that's what it looked like last night. And again, I think Trump did a very good job of not piling onto that.
Yeah.
Because it would have been very easy for him to come off as mean.
Well, it probably would have been fun too.
Even in his comment where he said, I don't know what he just said, and I don't think he does either. It didn't come off as mean. It came off as sincere.
Yeah, like I really didn't know what he said either.
I don't know what the fuck he's babbling about. It was great. Harry Sisson is on the Piers Morgan show. And he's trying to argue that no, there was really nothing wrong with Biden. So Pierre goes, okay. And he played the clip that ends with "and I beat Medicare," and he goes, "Okay, Harry, what did Biden say here?" Yep, crickets. Thank you, FYI, Bob. Did anyone forget to mention that Trump should have? I'm guessing should have asked Joe why there was white powder found in the White House. I mean, I get what you're getting at there, but that's a minor issue compared to everything else. That would be one that you just slap him with if you're being mean. Like if Joe was more coherent, hit him with that one. Like, I saw there was coke found in your house and Hunter had been by. You want to talk about that?
Bo was an American hero.
Yeah, that's one that would have come off as just mean at the time. Plus, I get that it's not nothing, but compared to the illegals crossing and all the other shit going on, it's minor. And we've talked about it, of course, but I get what you're getting at. But there's a time and a place, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right, Jack, we're going to be wrapping this one up soon, but I see you have a video here for us to watch.
Yes, I thought we would do a little instructional video.
All right. I don't know what this is, but I'm scared of it just by looking at it.
It's not that bad.
These people, they look British. Are they British?
I don't think so.
And I only say they look British because they're ugly as shit.
We can't see their teeth. They're just odd looking. Look, Pat is going to get her hair cut.
I'm just fucking with my British friends. Actually, I say it because of the quality of the picture there. This looks like a British sitcom.
Ouch.
What?
You're not wrong.
They're still using cameras from the 70s, and I don't know why.
Well, PAL format.
I expect them to any day now come up and say Panavision on the screen. Anyway.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the tip. Have you guys seen the new Alex Jones news? They're going to be closing down InfoWars instead of keeping it open. He can actually make the money he's supposed to pay them. It was always about silencing Jones. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They weren't even, I don't know why people keep saying it was always about silencing Jones. They didn't hide that at all.
No.
Their whole point was to make it so he could go out of business so he couldn't speak anymore like that. You're right that that's what they were doing, but yeah, they weren't shy about that shit at all. All right.
Is it okay if I touch you? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Before we get started, is it okay if I touch you?
Are you fucking serious?
Is it okay?
Are they doing this for haircuts?
Yes.
Your barber who you went to cut your hair is supposed to ask you, "Can I touch you?"
Yep. That's why these guys are making fun of it.
Okay if I touch you?
What?
Is it cool if I touch you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Just cut my fucking hair.
So is it okay if I touch you?
How else are you gonna fucking cut my hair?
Yes.
What are your pronouns? They, them. She, they. I'm glad we exchanged those.
What are your pronouns, by the way? Oh, they, them. Okay.
If I go to my fucking barber and they ask me my pronouns, I'm going to smack them.
I'm going to walk out. Like, what's your pronouns? Not paying you. That's what they are. Go away.
Okay, let's just look at that on its face, right? Jack, I'll be the barber in this one. You're sitting in the chair. I'm behind you, and I'm going to cut your hair.
Uh-huh. You
and I have a discussion. It's you and me talking. At what point am I going to call you your fucking pronoun?
Never. But you have to humor my delusion regardless.
What? Why would I need to know even if I believed in the pronoun bullshit? You and I are having a direct conversation. I'm not going to go he.
What?
He.
You must exchange pronouns. It is the ritual of the times. Moloch demands it, much like fresh babies from Planned Parenthood.
Thank you for asking.
Yes.
And what are your pronouns?
Cut hair.
And what were your pronouns?
She, they.
She, they too.
Yay!
No, it's just like regular. I got to ask everybody what their pronouns are.
Forget it, dude. I'm leaving.
Yep, that's the right answer. Fuck that. I'm leaving. I'm not. Yeah. Is this a real thing they're pushing?
Yeah, this video is actually not the original one. Isn't new. It's been around for a couple years.
Oh dear
They were
Christ!
pushing it for a while. I have no doubt there are salons like that, and I think I looked them up at one point. There are salons that ask your pronouns.
Why would you need it? It would actually be insulting because what you're saying is, while you're sitting here, I'm going to talk to them about you instead of talking to you.
No, it's because I feel comfortable around these accepting people and not some bigots.
You don't use somebody's pronoun in direct conversation with them. You use it when you're talking about them.
It's a secret handshake, monkey.
Jesus Christ. Now I want to go to one of these because I want them to ask me my pronoun and be like, who are you going to be talking to me about? Who are you going to turn instead of addressing me? When I leave, are you going to make fun of me? Why do you need to know my pronoun?
I can find the original TikTok video, I think.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I just I don't understand why. We've had that discussion on the show before. There is absolutely no fucking reason when you're talking to somebody directly to be using their pronoun. Pronouns are what you use when you're describing somebody. It's a description for somebody else. You would say, she is over there. You wouldn't say she is over there to she. You might say, you're over there. How come that's never, they always have, they, them, but they don't have one for UI. Those are pronouns.
No, we don't respect those pronouns.
We have seen a few people who go for the UI one, and they're always retarded, but it hasn't caught on the way. Them, they.
Frog and Frog Self are very offended by that. Oh.
I think at least, one win, the whole bullshit finally went away. Very few people try to pull that one anymore.
Well, that's passe at this point. You have other ones that you can use.
You have a weird one here and there, but most people are just doing the they, them, she, he kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tumblr died too fast for the zer thing to really catch on.
Yeah, you just see mix though instead of miss or mister.
Sure, yeah, for the titles.
Kind of caught on. I do have an article that's kind of related to this from the Associated Hair Professionals.
Okay.
It's a blog post.
All right, but after this one, I really am going.
Okay.
How to create a more inclusive salon environment. Oh, fuck off. Gender-free pricing and gender-free consultations. The fuck is gender-free pricing?
Well, men's haircuts are like $17 or $20, depending on what horrible podunk salon you go to.
Women could have the $20 haircut. It's just going to look like a men's haircuts are cheap because they're quick most of the time.
Yeah, because we have simple hairdos. Did you get Dangerous's Rumble there?
I did not see that one. Yeah, thank you, Dangerous. Got my haircut today. Didn't even think to say cut my hair, but don't touch me. How would that even work? This stuff was already stupid. How's it even possible that it's getting even stupider? Well, it's like this. When everything always starts small, right? And typically it starts with something that is important. Like black people are the same as white people. There's no reason to treat us different. All right, cool. And we go on from there. But the people who want to feel special, like, we need something else to latch onto. And eventually you get to the point where everything's fine, so you got to start making shit up. And then at some point in our history, in the last decade or so, we decided even the crazy stuff, we're going to entertain that. So we entertain the crazy stuff, and it just keeps pushing and pushing. How is this any different from needing to ask consent for every thrust when you're humping? Like, my penis is in you. Can I pull it out slightly and put it back in you? You're literally, you need informed consent the whole way. You need to keep reiterating it. I mean, that was a real thing.
The whole consent thing is just to feed the egos of narcissists.
This actually makes more sense than that.
Barely,
but it does. Because they're not asking every time. It's just, can I touch you? And then, okay, you got blanket consent. Oh, I want to go to one of these and halfway through be like, hey, I revoke consent. You need to cut the rest of my hair without touching me at all.
Yeah.
And see how they handle that. Because this is fucking retarded. Let's see. How can salons join the movement? Pronouns. To ensure everyone feels safe, supported, and advocated for, simply ask the salon team and clients to share their gender/pronouns as often as they'd like. What? Ask the team and clients to share their pronouns as often as they'd like. So now you have to ask if they want to be asked their pronouns?
No, you have to ask them about their pronouns and express to them that they could talk about the pronouns the whole fucking time.
But
as often as they'd like. So you can make a little, I'm a Z-Zier, I'm a Z-Zier, Z-Zier is here. Kind of song out of it, I guess. I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
On the salon website and in the booking system, on social media and on email signature lines, you're supposed to apparently, okay, I'm not kidding. If any of you ever sends me an email with your pronouns in the signature, I will never respond to you ever again about anything.
Probably be blocked.
Like, no, because you're a narcissistic retard. You don't get your own pronouns. In person, at the salon, or over the phone when booking an appointment, ask for names and pronouns. My pronoun is you're a fucking retard. Actually, I'm going to tell him my pronoun is I'm a fucking retard, and I need you to say that in every sentence. Everyone. Gender-free pricing. Basing a service menu on factors such as time, cost of goods, technique, or hair length can be more convenient for booking, maximizing your schedule, growing your customer base, and most importantly, allow clients to feel safe, seen, and celebrated. That's already how they do it.
No, because there's men's haircuts. Men.
Yeah, but if a man goes in for a perm, he's paying the woman price. They don't have a man's perm price.
Shut up, bigot.
Gender affirming consultations. There's a time to have gender-free consultations to see hair shape for just what it is, gender aside. Okay. How?
Keep going.
I will.
That's the good part.
But how do you put gender aside when what you guys are telling me is that gender is how you look? Gender becomes important to that.
Nobody said these people weren't hypocrites.
Only the client can decide to share how they would like to express their gender through their hair. See, that they just, that's what I was just saying. It's part of their expression.
You left out the second half of that sentence.
I'm getting to it.
No, the previous sentence. You skipped ahead.
There's also time to have gender affirming consultation. Oh yeah, because I mean the whole thing is about gender.
Yeah, but it's contradiction. So there's a time and a place for it. But you should have one set aside for this. Oh, by the way, the very next sentence is about to contradict everything I just said.
You can't have a gender-free consultation with these people because the gender's the thing that they're doing right there.
And they just told you that they should be allowed to blather on about their pronouns.
I don't understand.
Because that doesn't make no sense.
Honor and offer pronouns. This is under that same gender-affirming consultation. They really care about pronouns. Gratitude, giving thanks for the opportunity to serve the guest. What does that have to do with gender-affirming pronouns? Never mind. Practice active and deep listening. Oh, good God. I'm trying to imagine the movie Steel Magnolias remade in a salon that practices this.
It would be a hilarious comedy, like Soul Plane.
Steel Magnolias is one of those movies I never would have watched if I didn't have a wife, because my wife loves the movie, so I sat down and watched it with it, and I learned to love it because it's funny as shit.
That's a sad fucking film.
It is horribly sad, but until the sad part, it's funny. And Tom Skerritt's character is fucking amazing in that.
Yeah.
So is Olympia Dukakis and the big tittied singer, Dolly Parton. They all have great roles in that, but it's kind of, or the movie Barbershop. Imagine the movie Barbershop remade like this.
It'd have to be a parody film.
This is a parody of life. Consent, yeah. Can I ask you a few questions so I can offer you some suggestions? Oh my fucking God. So not only do you have to ask if you can touch, you have to ask if you can ask questions.
Yeah.
Suitability, focus on the 3 elements of cutting hair. Fuck right off. Again, offer a professional opinion. Not only on the creation of the style, but on styling with tools and products, treatment suggestion. What does it have to do with gender affirming?
I don't know.
It's also important to advocate. Call your state representative. You're a salon. All right. Research your vote in all elections. Donate or fundraise for human rights organizations, many of whom are fronts for child trafficking.
Yeah.
List businesses on Hair Has No Gender Service Finder. How can hair have no gender if it's part of the gender they're presenting as?
Through the magic of hypocrisy.
If part of your gender is getting your hair shaved on one side, because that's a thing.
Whoa, we're not all heroes, okay?
How is that not part of gender? It's literally part. Never mind. Create more inclusive imagery is also important. The above model was cut with Sam Vila's signature series razors. So make sure when you're advertising, you're using, I don't know. All right.
So this is a real thing. Pronouns and salons.
This goes beyond pronouns. This is asinine. This is advocacy. I mean, they even say it at the beginning or at the end there. It's important that you do it.
When I first saw this ages ago, the first thing about the "Can I touch your hair?" I remember thinking like, this is right up there with all the other dumb shit, like the communist knitting circles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's infected everything. The crazies have infected every aspect of our lives.
Well, I mean, there's people out there who will tell you everything is political. Everything's not political. But everybody has to push their politics into everything. This is why we're in the state we are now, because you can't just enjoy a football game. You have to have a political discussion about the asshole who's kneeling. Can't just get your hair cut. You got to have your fucking pronouns asked about. You don't need your politics in everything. But that's where we are. Everybody has to be the most. Do you remember there was a time Dave Chappelle even makes a joke about it in his one was it Killing Them Softly? I forget the name of the one he did. The one where he imitates Clinton in his one stand-up routine. But he talks about the election that's coming up, and he asked a black guy in the audience who he's voting for, and the guy said, and then he asked a white guy, and the guy goes, "Oh, I don't really know." And he goes, "See, that's the thing white people do. They won't even talk about it. They keep it to themselves like a secret." And there was a time that it really was like that. If you ask somebody who are they voting for, like, I haven't decided yet. And now, before you can even ask somebody, they're like, Who do you like? Do you like Trump? You probably like Trump. I'm going to fucking kill you. Everything's about politics now.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you made some innocuous reply and somebody screams about how you're a Trump supporter?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. You're going to have political motivations assigned to you. Is what it is. But now I got to worry about that. Thankfully, Lady Monkey cuts my hair, so I don't have to worry about that shit. She's more like, stop talking. I'm cutting your hair. Your big old head is moving too much. Hold still. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap this one up. That's why I have noise canceling headphones in public. And as soon as word gets awkward, I put them on, exaggerated and blinking. Nice. I'll just tell people to fuck off. It's none of your business if I don't want to talk to them.
I just look them straight in the face and say, I don't have any change.
I will not touch your no-no place. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us and sharing and liking and always putting up with our bullshit. You guys are amazing. Jack, anything on the show?
No, I haven't managed to finish anything, but thank you all for the donations. You guys are awesome. At some point, I'm going to finish a video.
Stevie says, good morning, he said with a MAGA racist inflection. Yes, exactly.
True.
I am tired. I'm going to try to go get another hour of sleep before the girls start waking up. So, Jack, thank you for joining me, my friend.
Oh, always glad to be here.
Oh, I didn't actually bring that article onto the screen. Fuck me.
No, you didn't.
I didn't throw it into chat for people.
I threw it in earlier.
Anybody who missed him tossing it in, here it is. Go read it. We read through almost all of it. There's a couple. I didn't read some of the explanations.
It was irrelevant to the main core of the article. So
yeah, I don't know why that just posted twice.
That's something to do.
But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Jack, pleasure. Everybody have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. I already did say pleasure to you, right?
Yes.
I just like saying pleasure to Jack.
Yes, pleasure, Jack. Especially if you're a supple young Asian lady.
I should not be as tired as I am. My brain is on autopilot right now. And I'm half asleep and still better than Biden was last night.
Well, that's a low bar. You also don't have dementia.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
I don't know what to sing about, but I have to sing anyway. I hope somebody touches your no-no spot with your consent today.